The 1996 draft, widely considered one of the greatest in NBA history. If you look at just the guards selected in the first round, it's hard to argue against that claim. New Jersey Nets had the 8th pick. It came down to an accomplished All-American out of Villanova in Kerry Kittles, and an undeniably gifted high schooler from Lower Merion, Pennsylvania. The story of why the Nets did not pick Kobe Bryant is interesting enough. But if you consider what might have been, then history is altered with so many possibilities. We investigate what if the Nets had drafted Kobe Bryant in the latest installment of our series.
Good evening, and welcome to the 1996 NBA Draft at the Continental Airlines Arena, home of the New Jersey Nets.
The 1996 draft was one of the deepest and most anticipated in NBA history. The class included a lightning-quick point guard, a long athletic big, and an intriguing group of international prospects. But perhaps the most captivating was also the class's second youngest, a skinny 6'6" wing with explosive talent, but just 17 and barely out of high school.
I was at the draft, which ironically was held in East Rutherford at the Nets' home arena. At that point, taking a high school player was considered a huge risk. This was not the norm. Kevin Garnett had been taken a year earlier in the top 5 by Minnesota, and Garnett had a good rookie year. But you didn't sense at that point that this was a once-in-a-lifetime player.
As for the Nets in the next lot, I think they're going to go for Kerry Kittles. But if they've got the courage, I know John Calipari loves Kobe Bryant. Go for it, John.
John Calipari knows high school players. I think we've seen throughout the years. He does a pretty good job picking high school players, whether he's at UMass, Memphis, or Kentucky. I think he made a big mistake. He should have, you know what, rolled the dice, take Kobe Bryant.
John Calipari had just gotten the job as not only the head coach of the Nets, but in charge of player personnel. So his first major move was this 1996 draft. They loved Kobe Bryant. They had worked him out 3 times. They were blown away by his talent, but they didn't pull the trigger.
With the 8th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the New Jersey Nets select Kerry Kittles.
They passed on Kobe Bryant because his agent at the time, Arn Tellem, scared them out of taking him, basically. They wanted to take him. Everybody wanted to take him. Calipari wanted to take him. John Nash's GM wanted to take him. But he didn't want to go to New Jersey. He didn't want to play for the Nets.
I get all that. But your job is to take the best player you can. And John Calipari knew that Kobe Bryant, even though he was coming out of high school, looked like he could be a special player.
So we got the player we wanted. We dabbled with some other guys, but that was a guy that I felt very good about and could play 2 positions.
John, were you not listening to Peter Vesey when he said Kobe Bryant is your guy? Where did Kobe Bryant enter the equation?
Well, we really like Kobe, and I think he's going to be a terrific player, and I think he's going to be a terrific player in the NBA. But for us right now, where we are and what we needed, I felt in the end it was Kerry Kittles.
He made it clear through his agent, Arn Tellem, who at the time was the most powerful agent in the NBA and had any number of huge clients throughout the league. He told them that he didn't want them to take Kobe Bryant. And if they had taken Kobe, that Kobe would go play in Europe. And he could have gone and played in Europe for a year and then come back and re-entered the draft the following year.
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant.
It was interesting. It was not only the Nets that passed on Kobe Bryant, 11 other teams passed on Kobe Bryant. And at the time, it was very clear that Kobe Bryant was a very special talent, even though at that time he was a high school player making a direct jump to the NBA right out of high school.
Well, here's a copy of The Sting, the official book of the Charlotte Hornets, with your new coach, Dave Cowens, on the cover. Do your homework before you show up at the Hive.
Thank you very much. I'll make sure I will.
All right, congratulations, Ernie.
Although the Hornets drafted Bryant, within an hour of their selection, reports swirled of a trade. Charlotte was ready to ship away his rights.
Sources have told me that the Charlotte Hornets have traded Kobe Bryant to the Lakers. The best confirmation that I could get out of the Lakers was that we're very interested in Kobe, but we have not made a deal yet.
we might see this be a small deal for maybe Anthony Peeler, or it could escalate into something big involving Vlade Divac.
The reality was he was 17 years old. And I don't know if at that point he was in a position to dictate anything. And I think also he got caught up in the behind-the-scenes machinations that happen on draft day when a powerful agent has an idea of where he'd like his client to be. And Jerry West, who was running the Lakers at the time, showed interest and saw stardom.
But what if Bryant had been playing alongside Kidd instead of against him, and his agent to play in New Jersey?
Well, look, in retrospect, in hindsight, you go, okay, this was a generational talent. So if he becomes a generational talent there, then everything changes, you know, because then people want to play with him. The state's going to come up with money to build an arena there. Everything changes. Calipari may still be there.
I would say this about Kobe. To me, he always came across as very loyal. And there was that moment where maybe he was going to get traded from the Lakers. So maybe if he had played in New Jersey, it wasn't that far from where he grew up in Lower Merion, Pennsylvania, it could have changed a lot of things.
Had Kobe been in New Jersey, you think about a team that really needed some excitement in a city that really wasn't glamorous. I think Kobe would have turned things around immediately, and they would have done a pretty good job of trying to put a better supporting cast than the New Jersey Nets ever had.
2001, Kobe Bryant and Stephon Marbury had a duel for the ages. It was the best I've ever seen Stephon Marbury play. Scored 50 points, but eventually Kobe Bryant and the Lakers won the game. After the game, we get Kobe Bryant as the post-game interview, and he's asked flat out, would you have accepted the fact that the Nets drafted you?
Well, it's pretty much my agent, Arn Tellem, just being Arn Tellem. I love the place so much, I would have played in Mars. You know, but they didn't draft me, so I'm a Laker. But they would draft me. I've been playing for the Nets.
The Nets were this close to getting Kobe Bryant and building their franchise around him.
In 2001, New Jersey traded for Jason Kidd, who immediately led the Nets, including Kittles, to back-to-back Eastern Conference titles. They would lose both finals, including one to Kobe's Lakers. But what if Bryant had been playing alongside Kidd instead of against him?
It would have been amazing. The phenomenon, I think, of Kobe Bryant and how he evolved into what he is, and knowing Jason Kidd like I do as a former teammate of mine, I think he would have scored 40,000 points in his career just because Jason will put him in positions to succeed.
Kidd really changed the entire culture of the team. The Nets were thirsting for credibility, leadership. Kidd provided that. And the team they built around Kidd was perfect for Jason. Run up and down the floor, transition, fast, get easy baskets, take advantage of his versatility. With Kobe, you're talking about two maestros, and it would have been basketball magic.
We're in the last 3 minutes. Kidd, big lob, Bryant. You know, the ball goes up, it's like a feeding frenzy. Three guys go for the alley-oop. I'm surprised we haven't had a mid-air collision. The guy's knocking themselves out.
Can you imagine the combination of Jason and Kobe, two unbelievably competitive guys, and Jason wanting to push guys, make them better? Maybe Kobe gets more than one MVP if he had played with Jason all those years.
I think he would have really been a good for Kobe, and they would have enhanced each other's games. But I think Jason Kidd is that type of a guy, like a Derek Fisher, who had the ability to talk to Kobe authentically and talk to him straight up and get the best out of each other.
In 2004, the Nets acquired Vince Carter from the Raptors. What if New Jersey could have added Vinsanity to a J-Kidd-Kobe combo?
Oh, man, it's just hard to imagine. I mean, I just imagine I'm on one wing, and then you bring somebody like Kobe Bryant. You just throw it up there, and it's whoever gets there first type thing. And, of course, his ability to score, J-Kidd's ability to pass, you know, I'll go above the rim. It's just, you have the best of all worlds, really.
Here's the alley-oop. Oh, the reverse.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty good fantasy basketball team. Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, and Kobe Bryant. I think that would have been a pretty spectacular team to watch.
So they had some talent there. So if they have Kobe Bryant with that talent, maybe they coalesce, maybe they challenge the Bulls. But I know one thing that wouldn't have happened, the Lakers don't win 3 straight, obviously.
Kobe Bryant was still a risk because of his age, you know, his youth, his lack of experience, and just his physical stature at the time was not that of an NBA player. So who knew that he would be as great as he was, have a Hall of Fame career, and fortunately for the Los Angeles Lakers, it turned out that he was.
What you don't know is whether he would have become a generational player playing for the New Jersey. He would have been great, probably, but would he have been one of the greatest of all time? It's hard to say because he wouldn't have played with Shaq. You know, he wouldn't have played for Phil Jackson. Those are things that really formed him as a great, great player.
If Kobe Bryant is drafted by the Nets and becomes a star, the Nets probably never leave the state of New Jersey. They probably build an arena in Newark. They build their team around Kobe Bryant. Maybe John Calipari never goes back to college and never coaches Kentucky. And the domino effect is remarkable in how much that one decision changed so many basketball lives.